Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU, the mighty mix spammer, and I am very excited today because exactly 2 days ago, as of 4th of June, the Endless Space, yes, the game that I have been covering a lot recently because I really love it, has reached the beta status. So, as of Monday, I have been playing a lot of this game in what is much closer to being the final release than what it used to be. Because right now we have multiplayer, which is very important. I mean, it's kind of awesome. If you wonder why there's so little players online, there is usually much more than that, but this is... what time is it? It's 2 PM in the middle of a work day, so no wonder nobody is online. But anyway, what I was trying to say is, well, there is a multiplayer. That's an addition that since the beta. Very cool. I'm yet to test this out because so far I've been learning the new factions. Also, yeah, there are now all of the factions that are going to be in the final release available during this beta, which is really amazing. And what this video is not only a reminder for you to go ahead and buy this game because it's excellent, but also I'm going to try my best and show you a full coverage of a single playthrough Endless Space. Now, I tried this before, I failed, so I'm going to try this again, and we'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to have little breaks now and then, because I'm really bad at talking. I mean, yeah, I am bad at talking, but I'm even worse at breathing. If I talk for too long, then I kinda start hyperventilating and stuff. I honestly do think about signing up for a singing course just to learn how to control my breathing apparatus so that I can talk long or as long as I want without any kind of, what do you call them? Restrictions per se. That's not what I wanted to say, but we do have to do. So let's set up a new game. First of all, we will set everything to default, but since I don't want to spend too much time over here, I'll set the difficulty on hard. Well, that is going to make the playthrough a little bit longer, but, well, at worst I will die, at best we'll have some enjoyable time together, and I'll increase the game speed into fast. All victory conditions are going to be set to active, player difficulty is going to be normal, we don't need insane pirates, and I'm going to apply those options. As of the galaxy, I'm going to have a spiral with 8, what are they called, arms. It's definitely not going to be small, it's going to be large. I think it might be a little bit too long, though the game speed is set to fast, so we will have large galaxy with 8 playable factions and the age of normal. I sometimes try playing as young or old, it's kind of fun, it changes the way that the galaxy generation works. Obviously the stars are different, and because of the stars being different, usually older or younger obviously, the worlds are also different, which is kind of cool. Anything else I want to change? Let's see, number of constellations. You know what, actually I'm going to decrease the size of the decrease the size of the galaxy, and oh man, that's not what I wanted to click, but fortunately the game remembers my settings. So the galaxy is only going to be medium size, but I am going to increase the number of planets per system so that we have a little bit more fast-paced gameplay. At least that's what I'm going to try to achieve. Constellation distance average is that's fine, planet size is fine, resources fine. Number of constellation, what was that? Give me a second. I'm going, whoa, not that. I'm going to leave this as this. Star connectivity, this is fine. Galaxy density is fine as well. I'm not going to decrease it anymore. Already, actually, no, it's going to be fine. Medium galaxy with high amount of planets is going to be cool for now. Now, I'm definitely going to play as Amoebas because they are definitely my favorite faction of all times. I mean, they are Amoebas, how can you not love them? Also, their ships look absolutely stellar and amazing, and wow, you can just love their ships simply because of the way they look, they move, they power and everything else. I love Amoebas, I really do. Now, I am, however, before starting the game, going to talk a little bit about those 3 factions in terms of balance, as far as I am aware of the balance that the beta has brought to us. So Amoeba seem to be balanced, maybe a little bit on the edge of being underpowered, but they are fine by me. They have no malusi, how do you supposed to call them? Negative traits per se, so they do not suffer from anything, but to be honest, they do not have great bonuses as well. They start with xenobiology, and all those 3 factions start with this one, so it's nothing biggie. Symbiosis, excuse me. So yeah, increased trade route bonuses, but it's not that big of a deal. Merchants, which means that they have bigger trade routes cap on the system, only big of a deal if you are playing on a big galaxy and there is actually a possibility for you to have a lot of trade routes. Stellar Guardians +4 influence area on a system, not really all that amazing either. It only has an effect with when you're on Cold War with somebody, and even then it doesn't always have that much of an effect, so it's really not that big of a deal. It's almost nothing. Now if that's kinda decent, you get bonus... what do you get? Well, what do you call it? Bonus happiness if you're at peace or allied with somebody else, though there is really not a lot of this bonus at stake. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's something, Masters of Illusion, which decreases your cost of ship if you don't have any weapon modules. Well, considering that let's put it this way. There are only 3 non-weapon modules that I could think of that, oh man, I'm failing terribly today. There are 3 non-weapon modules that are actually useful. Okay, maybe more than that. So let's just go quickly through all of them. One provides a bonus defense or offense to your entire fleet. One provides a bonus of movement speed to your ship or to your entire fleet if you have the technology for it. One provides you with... what was it? I think it provides a bonus invasion for your entire fleet if you have a really high tech. And one is for populating new worlds. Thing is, you cannot have any offensive weapon modules on the ship for the Masters of Illusion to take place, which means that it is pretty much a useless trait, at least I believe so, unless you are planning on expanding and constructing a lot of those repopulation ships, which is possible, but it only benefits you during the very early stages of the early game, which is something I'm going to go back to in a moment. Mutual understanding, kinda decent, though. Yeah, it's just decent. It's good. I'm not going to dwell too much into that. And Terraformed Planet, the home planet has reached, so this is actually a really good one. So overall, because of the fact that they have no negative traits, I think they are pretty well balanced. I mean, every other factions have some cooler bonuses to them, but Amoebas, they are pretty decent for what they are. I do think that some things like Masters of Illusions are completely useless and they just pretend like they're bonuses while they do not give you anything whatsoever, but let's not dwell too deep into that. Overall, as of, after playing with Amoebas, I have a feeling that they are simply, well, they are very good at early stages of the early game, also because they see an entire map from the get-go, so they know where to expand and so on and so forth. But after that they have no more bonuses for the mid-game and late game, especially because people tend to declare war on you very often and you do not really get to benefit from most of those traits. So that's the problem with Amoebas, though they are kinda fine, I would say. They're fine as it is. It does feel like I would personally resign from like many of those traits and just give them one trait that is definitely good at the cost of having much less traits overall. I think it would be better simply if they had a single positive trait. Maybe something towards the ship construction, because obviously they are very small, so they probably pay a big attention to detail and micromanagement. Maybe some bonus to ship repair systems, nano repair systems, things like that. Let the music play. Okay, there we go. So it isn't as quiet as it was. Now the second faction, the Pilgrims. I do not really like that faction because they're humans, so obviously I don't like them. I don't like any faction that is humans. But aside from that, they seem to be also fairly decently balanced, on the edge of being a little bit too powerful, but they are kind of balanced. The Pilgrims affinity allows them to evacuate a star system. Haven't seen that in action just yet. They also have Xenobotany, Fearless Warriors, which gives them bonus defense on a system, kinda handy. Rebellion, which gives them basically, well, you can read that for yourself. This is also quite a decent bonus. Diplomats, which gives them more trader route bonuses from assistance, same as Amoebas. Also, they have Optimistic, which gives them way more happiness on assistance. This is a very, very, very big bonus. I mean, really huge. It's just hard to explain how big of a deal it is. Just trust me, it's a big of a deal. Legendary Heroes, which is useful on the early game, and overall it allows you to have small edge, is a balanced trait. I would say Mutual Understanding, the same thing that Amoebas have. Knowledge Gathering, this is very good because you get a research point for destroying enemy ships, so it's a very powerful one. And something that I believe Cravers have, Knowledge Gathering. Yeah, the Cravers have the same ability, just a little bit better. So it's another very good thing. Blockade Breakers, which basically means that blockade do nothing for your economy. It's huge, just let me say it up front, it's really huge. Meticulous Analysis, I don't really get what this means, I'm bad at English, but it generally means that you have better vision on your ships, which is just fine. And as a penalty for all of this, they get more space on the ships. Now, though less space on a ship is a really big debuff, it really is. Considering all those amazing buffs that the Pilgrims also have, I believe they are very well balanced, maybe even a little bit too powerful, but this might just be me hating humans, to be honest. Still, this seems kinda strange because they seem to have a lot of the same traits as the Amoebas do, and they are on the same level, and it's not supposed to be like this. Pilgrims are supposed to be this religious kind of faction that worships the Endless as some kind of godlike beings, while Amoebas are supposed to be the faction that is really good at diplomacy. While from what I've seen, Pilgrims are better at diplomacy in almost every possible way. And overall, mostly because of some traits like Optimistic, Knowledge Gathering, and so on and so forth, they seem to have really powerful traits. Though Wasted Space does balance it quite well, I would say. So I think they should be left as they are, maybe some kind of small debuff, but that's all I could think of. Maybe not, I will see how it goes as the beta progresses. And the last faction that is horribly overpowered so far, the Sowers. Sowers? No, Sowers would be not that. I would call this the Sowers. The faction itself is a very interesting one. This is a machine race faction. So let's go through them as quickly as possible. They get less food from a system, but their industry produces extra food. So it's kinda like Gandhi type of a deal from Civilization 5, except not at all, but it's a similar type of a trait. An interesting one, might kick you in the teeth at the start of the game a little bit, but overall allows you to ignore the food upgrades and just focus heavily on the industry, which makes you a powerhouse, especially in the late game, which is very good indeed. Xenobotany, something that all those three factions have. Builders, less interesting cost of improvements on Empire, very powerful ability, just let me put it this way, you are able to spawn those upgrades on your planets, which is a really big deal. Now, crowded planets, bonus population on planets, also very big of a deal. You can essentially have much more population than your opponents, and this allows you to wipe them out relatively fast. Tolerant. This is perhaps the most overpowered thing I have ever heard of. This allows Sowers to colonize any planet they desire. If they do not have the technology, they do have minus 55% bonus for food industry, dust and science, but nevertheless they can colonize anything they want. During the early game, hell, even during mid and late game, they had such a big boost, they do not have to care at all about the advancement in science towards colonization, and they just can colonize any system they want to get any benefits they want from it. They have no problems in researching various technology just to get the hexaferrum or any other resource. This is such a huge boost, and it's so overpowered I cannot really express it. If it was like -50 or maybe -75 feeds, then I would say this is okay, still on the edge of being overpowered. -25 seriously does not cut it. It allows Sowers to get like huge empire very fast with no problem whatsoever, and it also allows them to capture key points in the galaxy with relative ease. So this is huge. Optimal defense, really, well, a very strong ability. Not going to say anything more about that because that pretty much covers it. Dust recyclers, they get more dust for each destroyed ship. Wow, another very good ability. And slow travel, they get -1 to movement on ships. Seriously, this is supposed to make up for all of those amazing traits? No, just no. Nope.avi, they are severely overpowered. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's okay, it's beta, we're supposed to detect things like that, but I just don't know what somebody was thinking about those Sowers. I think somebody really likes the machine races or something, because this is, quite frankly, significantly overpowered. As far as in all the games I played so far, it just kicks some serious... I mean, it's incredible! They have so many amazing traits and only one very, very small debuff to all of this. They need some serious rebalancing work. In my opinion, they should have this. Let's see. Oh, and they also have metallic waters on their home planet, which makes them even more unbalanced because this is a really big buff. What I believe is that should stay. Solar Affinity, it's fine. It's a really cool addition. I'm not sure about the metallic waters anomaly on home planet. I would have to think about that. Builders, it should be nerfed or should be removed completely. Crowded planets should be probably removed, maybe nerfed, so that only tiny planets get this. Small and medium should not have this. Tolerant should be definitely severely debuffed. I mean, seriously. Optimal defense, I believe it has no place in the sewers. It should go away. Dust recyclers, maybe. Overall, it should have a lot of debuffs. Sowers are definitely overpowered right now. Even if the AI is not sure how to use those advantages, because so far I've seen that it is not aware of what it's supposed to do. Trust me, I definitely know how to use all of those traits, and I can pawn the AI so badly, so very fast. Alright, so right now we've got, like, I don't know, 12 minutes of me rambling around aimlessly, but I wanted to cover up some of the gameplay for you. So naturally I'm going to play as Amoebas because I love them, and I want to play against every single other faction that we can. So Horatio, United Empire, Hisho, Cravers, that's too many Cravers. So Pilgrims, so oh wait, there are Sowers, and who are we missing? Sophons? Yeah, I believe Sophons. Let's just triple check that. Sowers, Sophons, Pilgrims, Hisho, United Empire, Horatio, Cravers, Amoebas. Alright, that seems to be about it. Every single faction is covered. And we are good to go. Game speed, oh, I forgot. Fast, because I don't want this to last too long. I do care about my throat. And since there's so many factions and the galaxy is going to be kind of big, it's going to be important. And we are starting, finally! It took us a while, but as I said, I did want to cover up as many features of the beta as possible. And I'm going to keep going through the betas during the game when there's not a lot of stuff happening, which probably means most of the early game. Now, as I mentioned briefly, Amoebas start with a really nifty ability of having the whole map discovered. This, by the way, just... yeah, I'm covering the stats. I kind of do not need this notification to know about this. So, this galaxy layout is kind of interesting because it allows every single faction to develop kind of peacefully on their home arms of the galaxy, which is kind of nifty, and then they have to fight for the middle and eventually expand into the other arms trying to fight the opponents, which is quite cool. Shame that I did not memorize who I colored as which faction. But anyway, it seems like Galaxy is mostly covered by uncolonizable planets, at least for my faction. Obviously, Sowers don't have to care about that at all. But more to a point, I do not have any place to colonize into whatsoever which is definitely something that I'll have to deal with ASAP. Also, I cannot help but notice I really do not have a lot of planets in my arm, and it does look like my arm is shorter than any other arm, well, maybe except for this one. Still, it seems like the galaxy generator does not like me today. Well, I guess this happens. So, I think I should think of a theme that I'm going to go for today. Let's think, should I go for a game of some sort, or should I go... Let's go for a... How about a Witcher series? No, wait, I've gone for this already. Oh, well, never mind then. Then... I guess we could just go for... Oh man, the tension, I can feel the clock passing by. You know what, I'm going to pause the recording just so I can make up my mind what is going to be the theme of this current playthrough. I'll be right back in a second. Alright, so I am back. Took some time to get myself equipped with juice, because, you know, you need that juice if you're going to keep going. So I thought to myself, well, what should be the theme of today's gameplay? And then my eyes set upon my collector's edition of Diablo 3, so I guess we have our answer. And we'll start by naming our home planet. I am so always going to do this. So there we go. High heavens. If you wonder... Oh, come on now. Heavens. High haven. Okay, there we go. That's good enough. If you wonder why I tap so slowly, that's because when I record I have to move my keyboard to the side, so it just kind of feels weird to do anything with it, aka type stuff. But, well, oh well, who cares. So we've got our home system named, and I'm definitely going to go for alien grafting on my home planet, because it does give me bonuses on my planet, because it's an ocean planet. Amoebas always start on an ocean planet. Also, one thing that was added in the beta, I'm going to go through all of them in a moment, but you can already see that one for yourself. You can see the progress on the planet. As they develop, they are going to look cooler and cooler. So far, I only have a couple of blinking thingies on top of them, but it's going to get much cooler than that. Trust me on that one. I also start with rich soil because I'm an amoeba, and I'm going to turn off my Steam notifications because where are they? View all friends offline. Thank you very much. All right. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about, but it doesn't really matter. First of all, let's see what planets I can expand to in the future. Tundra, well, there's Tundra right next to me, and it has dust water on it, which is an easy accessible luxury resource. So I might colonize Tundra, go for Tundra colonization technology in the future. Let's see, desert, barren, gas methane, asteroid belt, and arid. This system is going to be a pain to colonize, let me tell you this. It's going to take me a very long while. I can colonize arid relatively fast. What does give me hidden rings? Well, this is a very cool thing. So I might go for the arid colonization relatively fast. Arctic, Tundra, and arid. All of them are relatively large, so this is interesting. But it's another arid, so I think I am getting my mind there. And lava and desert, so I'm not colonizing in either of those anytime soon. So I guess I'm going for the arid colonization first. It is going to take me 2 turns too many, but I guess my ships are going to take their time getting to the place anyway. So I'm just going to merge the fleet and get into the ETA system, which I'm obviously going to rename. Why can't I move? Is there something I'm missing? Why on earth am I not allowed to move? Oh, wait a minute. This is probably this new pathfinding system, except that I did... What? That's strange. In my previous playthroughs, I didn't have to do anything. My ships just moved in the direction I wanted them to move. How do I make them move now? Not like that. Maybe if I press on scrap? No, that's probably a bad idea. No, I don't want to... Oh, OMG. Okay, let's... Calm down. How about we turn on the tutorial, because apparently I need it now. Yeah, I know that what Enderspace is. Yes, okay. Okay, so they improved the tutorial as well. This is really cool. Fleet, I know what a fleet is. How do I travel? Only by right-clicking the fleet, but it may take... Yeah, I know that. I know that. You didn't tell me anything I didn't know already. That's strange. I could move without any problems in the past. Why isn't that the case now? Why do you have everything queued up like this? Am I really that stupid? I don't remember being that stupid, but maybe something changed. Maybe I got stupidity air? Maybe not. I have really no idea. I'm going to pause the recording yet again because I'm stuck. I want them to move in the place where I want them to move. They do have movement speed, so why? Click to select this fleet. Yeah, I know this. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording. Sorry everybody, I just am kinda stumped.